A wizard is never late. Nor is he early. He arrives precisely when he means to.
Thanks to all our active patrons who have contributed a lifetime of $100 or more to reach Garuk Dong level status.
Here is the list of those special patrons in order of contributions.
If you would like to support our show, check out the Commander Smiths at patreon.com. Ooh, welcome to 6 years of the Commander Smiths.
Whoop-woo. We are the 6 years of Commander Smiths.
I'm 6-year Adam. I don't know, it doesn't work. Adam
Now,
Smith.
If I stop with the six thing, are like
666?
Yeah.
There's words and stuff
I'm
in
Lowry
between
Smith.
there. Don't worry.
We'll do that. We're cousins.
This is episode 312, which means this is 6 years of doing this nonsense here. This is kind of I guess I should mention what this thing is. Nope, the other way.
In the middle.
Right over there.
You got me.
All right. Okay. So we're kind of changing things up a little bit with this. Oh, and by the way, Lowry is drinking tonight because it's 6 years.
I am drinking tonight. Cheers, mates.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I said it like
Mate. Hey, Renchai, this is for you.
A wizard is never late.
Not
Nor is he
Saturday night
early.
out too.
He arrives precisely when he means to.
This is what we started at 9. Just give you guys a little buffer to get in here. Okay, so the Malort meter. Nope, that way. I got to get back to my meteorology days where I'm doing the green screen because I did that so many times in the beginning where I put my hand the wrong way and I'm like, oh shit, nope, it's this way. Oh shit. Okay, so you guys know that we've had the Malort going for what? Is it 2 years now that we've had Malort as? Or is it?
I don't count time in years. I count it in bottles.
That's a fantastic point.
I'm in 7 bottles, and if the Malorto meter hits today, I will be on to my 8th.
I might want to change that Malorto meter. I'm going to
Malorto
change.
meter.
That's what you said.
Sorry.
I like it. No, Malort.
That's how it was in my head.
Malorto meter. I got to write that for a note. O meter. I like that a lot.
Renshai, we are perfectly on time because we started at a quarter past the Malort bottle.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how we know
that
we're on time.
So, getting back to the Malort stuff, Lowry has posted, if you're part of the Discord, Lowry puts out, actually, a lot of people Lowry puts out, yes, that's where I should have stopped the sentence there. Lowry has put out a bunch of, what is the guy's name again? The unemployed wine guy?
Unemployed wine guy.
Yeah.
Fantastic bit. I know Ryan W posts a bunch of his stuff too.
Yeah.
I can't name everybody because I think we really, really enjoy it in our Discord.
For sure.
Because it's
fantastic. And we'll have that linked
awful.
below after this podcast is done for. What are we going to do, Lowry? What is this?
So he's going to be our inspiration for at least I'm not going to put any type of bottle limit on this. This might be the one and only time, but basically we're going to be mixing Malort and Ranch, roughly 50-50 mixture. I want it probably a little bit less ranch so that I can sip it.
It's also creamer or whatever.
Yours is creamer. I just said
you're just doing.
We're going to do this a little bit.
You're
different.
doing
it's
a
just
bottle.
Ranch.
Oh,
it's a bottle of ranch.
So mine's
and Malort.
Mine is the Malort, or not Malort. The ranch, like powder is how he does it, and then
much more like the video that is in the notes down below.
It isn't right now, but it will be.
Live.
Yeah, when we are done.
When we're done.
Or
not live.
When we're done
Wednesday.
recording. Yeah. And then the other half is mine is going to be heavy whipping cream, and then the rim has Doritos Cool Ranch along the rim as we're drinking. So here's the deal. Here's how we're changing things. We're not going shot by shot. There was a lot of nights where we would get hit with those shots, and it was really rough. And Lowry has a little bit of the gout act up stuff, so we don't want to be drinking.
So I just don't drink as much.
Yeah, we just don't want to drink as much like every single podcast getting, Malorted up. So what we're doing instead is we have a Malort-o-meter. It doesn't have the O, but it's going to be Malort-o-meter.
It's Irish.
And this is just, it carries over. So if people donate right now, it goes up. Once we hit that $100 mark, we will be taking, we will
3
have
shots.
it always ready.
Drink.
Yep, 3 of the Malort shots, and then it's going to change. Once we get this ranch one out of the way, we're going to switch it up. It'll probably be a Discord vote to figure out where we're going next. So the max we can do is hitting the 3 Malort shots in one episode. We can't do more than that, but it would restart the following episode. But if we only get to like, 25 this week and then another 5 next week, we'll just keep track of that. So until we hit 100, so we'll always have everything on hand. So we're just kind of changing that up a little bit, just make it a little bit more interesting, because we've taken a lot of Malort, just regular Malort, and then you would think we'd get used to it and it would be like no problem, but it still sucks. So now we're just going to torture ourselves even more.
Right. Because I don't even like ranch at this point in my life.
I wish it was mayo and Malort, because that would be fantastic.
That was gonna be when you're like, I so don't want to do this. I was like, you want to do mayo?
I would definitely do mayo.
I'm not gonna offer that up. I have no interest in that.
Yeah. So this will be interesting. So yeah, starting now, any donations that come on the live cast, anytime we're live with that, we will, once we hit $100, we will take that shot. I didn't get to ask you this beforehand. At the 25 mark, should we have that as the jelly bean stuff? Because it kind of eliminated all the things that we're doing every time a donation comes in.
Oh, so
once we hit a 25,
if we hit a 25, 50, 75,
and then 100,
we're doing.
Yeah, we take them.
I mean, we got to work our way through the beans, so let's incentivize that at least.
Yeah. So if we hit a 25, we'll each take one of the beans. So 25, 50, 75. So that's added in as well. So okay, so that is one major change we have going. Some other stuff that we've done, you kind of got us in the hip cool area, right? With
what?
Instagram?
Oh, yeah. So we're on Instagram. I don't know how to work it. Apologies. It's scary and new. And I posted the curated. I have no idea how to. It's not a new one. It was a used one.
A used one.
Like all the old ones are at a thrift shop.
They're used.
So I'm still learning, but if you want to come and find us, Commander Smiths, I got a picture of
Ted already found
basically our background. Yeah, we've got Ted and Alex already. Just because they're the only 2 people that I knew
had
that were on Instagram. Yeah, because they've talked shit to you about it. Like, because they've been sending it to you for like a whole year and a half.
Yeah,
and you're not even
that's my
personal one. So I if you want to find me, I don't know what's going on. Just I'll accept you and I'll follow back. Is that how that works?
You sound such like an old man doing this.
Right. I picked up TikTok like that though.
Yeah,
like
did.
TikTok was easy. This is I don't understand what's going on.
I have no idea what's going on.
And it reminded me of like, I think TikTok is legitimately the only thing I've ever signed up for, because even though I'm on Facebook, my buddy Matt signed me up for that. Like he just stole my identity.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and signed me up. It was like sophomore year of college. It was when they still had it for just colleges. And you couldn't like interact with other colleges
when it was competing with MySpace at that point.
Yes, definitely. I think he signed me up for MySpace too, but again, that's 20 years ago.
Yeah.
So I don't know what I'm doing at this point. I'm like, no, I don't want to give up my information. No, you can't interact with my pictures and video. And then I was like, why can't I find my pictures and video? I want to post this stuff. Got our chats, and he will laugh and you will cry.
Yeah,
that's probably.
Thanks, Ted. That's super nice.
So yeah, we're on Instagram now. Once I start learning how to post this stuff to places, I'll at least be putting it in a Discord, probably on X. But I don't think I have to get a Facebook, but I'll eventually probably do that. And maybe
I think that's our next
commingle.
Don't isn't that why I have an Instagram? Is because it's from Facebook? Like that's.
I don't think it automatically signs you up for it.
Yeah, I never signed up for Instagram. I don't think. I have no idea. Now I sound old. How does this whole these computers and the internets work? I don't get that how this all works. And you can send messages instantly. This is the best story is Cindy's dad was he got a new iPhone, and this isn't that long ago. This was like maybe a year ago at most. And he was asking Cindy, he's like, okay, I want the email set up on my phone, but I don't want the emails to go to that computer over there in their house. And Cindy's like, well, it doesn't go to the computer. You just don't sign in over there. He's like, yeah, but I don't want it over there. I only want it on my phone. I don't want it on the computer. And it's just, he could not get it reminds me of the Zoolander where they're like, it's in the computer.
Yeah, that's a good spot.
Yeah, so it's good stuff. You sound like you have a story you want to tell.
No.
You did a big
we
side
need
there.
Yeah, we just probably need a media manager at this point.
What? Why is somebody throwing out the Team Force Walk? God, you get it.
There we go.
Get the fuck out!
Oh, he just jumps in with the Team Force Walk crap. Just bullshit. Okay, so I do have a couple.
I don't. This is not something that we talked about, but if you have been enjoying the show for any amount of time, maybe right in whatever spot you can do a comment of what you have enjoyed the most. I'm assuming like
what if they say
doesn't have
nothing?
To be like, yeah, or nothing.
Are you saying
Nothing
in the
is
comments
fine,
with this video right here?
It could be YouTube. It could be wherever you're listening it. But I'd be interested to see like maybe how long you've been listening since it is 6 years. 6 years is a long time.
Yeah, it's fun to actually hear how people came across us and stuff. Like I do like hearing that when you normally do kind of like a thing like that when people join the Patreon stuff.
I get in things where I'm asking them, oh, where'd you find it? I haven't done that probably too much lately. I'm not consistent. So, but it's always fun to see what you have enjoyed, like be it Garuk's Dong or you enjoy the Malort.
That'd be a weird thing to just enjoy Garuk's Dong. Like that's
why no, that is there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing.
I don't I think we got enough requests that it won't go away. It's
right. That's what I was we are surprised about that.
Yeah, because
we're like
no one gets it.
What it is.
Only like the old school listeners get it. And then there was multiple people that are like, no, I love Garuk's Dong. And then I took a screenshot and saved it, and that'll come up at a later date.
Hold it over. It's blackmail.
Yeah. Make sure you donate. You go to the top level of Patreon. Your $20 donation.
You gotta at least get on that golden Garuk Dong level.
Yeah. Then we'll delete it after that. All right.
So we just get surprised. Like we understand that we have like bits and we've run them into the ground 4 times over, and people still enjoy them. That's good to see.
Yeah.
Meat bucket.
I do have a couple funny stories over the last week. So
I don't remember telling the meat bucket story, but I do know that
the meat bucket story
did because we know
that's been on here multiple times. I think we've talked about it.
All right. Well,
I think I've told I think I've told your meat bucket story like multiple or double digits at least. Like whenever we're just in a group, I'm like, Lowry and his brother just brought a meat bucket up. Okay. So I had a funny story. I kind of mentioned it to you before. I didn't tell you what it was, but it's about my dad this week. What are you drinking there? You look like you're in a.
Oh, I'm doing. That one was a pistachio cream, which was enjoyable, and this one is Mexican honey light lager. Both from. I'm just drinking an Indeed sampler.
That's what I was about to say. It sounds like Indeed there. Yeah. Okay, so my dad came to watch the boys this week or last week when we had volleyball, and so. We get done with volleyball, and I text him. I was like, we're on our way back. And he's like, great, with a whole bunch of emojis, like way too many. Like, it's an old person doing a lot of emojis. And then the next message comes through, and he's like, hey, so before I left, I was like, hey, upstairs in the movie room, there's our little mini fridge that has, like, adult beverages. I was like, you can go up there and grab any. So his second text message was, I went upstairs and grabbed one of those drinks, and I started drinking it, and then my head started feeling fuzzy. Do you know where this is going?
I have a feeling I know where this
he
is
got
going.
a quarter of the way through it and then realized, I'm going to read what the can is because this doesn't taste like a seltzer. It was a seltzer, but it had THC in it. My dad has smoked like weed once in his entire life. So like, he's like, I could tell my brain started getting fuzzy. And so I stopped drinking it. I was like, well, that's good. So get home and he kind of tells the story and all that. And then we give the boys nighttime gummies for kids. So it's like half a milligram,
CBD.
No, it's melatonin, half a milligram of whatever. They're like little gummy things. But hey, thank you, Bill from Woodbury with the anniversary. So he's done this multiple times, right? He's given the boys, you know, I was like at 8:00, give them their little fruit snack gummy thing. And then, you know, half an hour.
I mean, he's been doing it. Well, a lot of their life, not necessarily melatonin, but going up and hanging out when you're doing
but I mean the little giving them the gummy things. That's been we've been doing that for a few months now at this point. Okay. So when we get back and he told his THC story, and then he goes, yeah, and then I gave the boys the THC gummies, and I was like, whoa, what? He's like, yeah, those gummies you told me to give him. I was like, those aren't THC. Like, he's like, oh, good. I was wondering. And Cindy's like, you could have said something. She's like, well, you're the parents. She's like, yes, but if we're giving our kids drugs, you can say something.
I was about to say that too. If it was, I was like, melatonin, THC? Question mark?
Maybe we should say this on the air, right. Adam. Like, this should not be going across. Yeah, so it's just like, Dad, you know these aren't THC. You've given them these for like months at this point, and now it's come up that you thought it was THC.
I mean, he does have hardcore dyslexia.
Yeah, he does.
So like he might have missed it the first time and then just assumed, or he was just super high and had no idea what he was saying and believing. Oh yeah.
Yeah, totally.
So the I mean, that'd be super scary. But keep the melatonin out of the hands of your kids too, though.
Yeah,
like there was some reports, like around Christmas where kids were going and getting the gummies and fucking eating them because like everything's gummy now, vitamins,
right?
The melatonin.
So then Drake
candy.
Grabbed vitamins out of this bag, and my dad's like, "What are you taking?" Because it was out of Cindy's drawer, but it was vitamins.
Yeah, but melatonin is a hormone, and so like that shit can put you in the hospital if you
take too much. Yep,
take too much. So
they're only half a milligram. They can do a full, but we've only just always give them one because it knocks both of them out pretty good. So
I've been really lucky that
your kids go to bed easy.
Go to bed pretty well. Yeah. I've been really, really lucky.
Zeke can go to bed pretty decent, but Drake just has that ADHD adrenaline going through him at all times. Like we'd be at like, he'd come up at 11:30 and be like, I haven't slept yet. And I was like, dude, you've been down there for 3 hours. What have you been doing? I don't know. Just messing around. It's like, geez.
Farting. My room smells.
Yeah. One more story that happened tonight. Where did it go? We were having dinner and I don't even know how it came up, but Zeke goes, Mom, we were talking about swear words. That's what it was. Because Cindy's show that she watches, she was working out and the boys were down there and it's below deck, which is the craze for all the whatever. It's like real world road rules kind of thing. Anyways, they swear a lot, and they counted how many times they swear because they bleep it. You know, it's like bleep, bleep. Drake was like, it's like 50 sometimes in an episode. I was like, holy crap. And then Zeke goes, Mom says the P word all the time. And we're like, what? I was like, what's the P word? And I think Drake ended up saying like pissed or something like that. And then Zeke goes, no, P word like the cat. And we're like, whoa, how do you know this? He didn't say the word. I don't think he might have said one swear word ever, like just repeating, didn't realize that it was a swear word, but he knows what they are. So the school bus is the big thing. Like, I mean, that's where they're learning it all. But the fact that he's like P word like the cat. So he doesn't know exactly what that is, but he does, the cat
he knows
part.
it's not a good word. And it definitely feels, I don't know. For me, it's always felt weird when somebody's like, "Oh, there's the pussycat," and you're like,
"Oh, come on,
don't." That's it's. I'm not saying that you're wrong. I just
or pussy willows, like that always throws me off. Like it's like, whoa.
Right. They're just willows in my mind.
No, they're pussy willows.
I am so censored in my brain. I am such a weirdo. All right, I get it. Tags?
You got any fun things you want to talk about? We're at 20 minutes. All right.
Yeah, we're at 20. We're good.
I do want to show off one thing because I did talk about this last week. There's my 3D printing. So I've gotten the hang of it, and I made the One Ring bowl. So
that looks really cool.
Yeah, the writing's on the inside too, dude. It's 3D.
Was it worth all the heartache and frustration?
It's very finicky, so you have to have patience, and sometimes I didn't. So,
well, I mean, just figuring stuff out. Did you hear me talking about Instagram?
Yes, that's a good point. That's a good point. Well, that's the question. Did you YouTube it? Like, because that's really what you got to do is the YouTubes. And then that's how I figured it out. I followed the directions of that stupid what it came in, and then it skipped like 13 steps. So I went to YouTube.
Okay. All right.
All right, little John. Okay. All right.
He did a great job at the Super Bowl, by the way.
That was fantastic.
Fantastic job, little John.
Yeah.
I know you're listening. Post Malone, great job doing country. Great job.
Yeah, he did really well there too. All right, you can support the Commander Smiths by becoming a patron. $1 or more gets you in the Discord. We actually have a new patron. Let's see. I got to get the right.
I need to send you an invite to the Discord. Sorry. I was fighting with Instagram.
New patron this week is Jason Brooks.
Welcome to a meat forest.
That sounds like a fairy tale of a meat forest.
It's funny because Little Lowry doing that so long ago, now he sounds super young with that. Like it doesn't sound like him anymore. Like, and Zeke's "Oh, good for you" it sounds like he's not even Zeke. Like it's kind of funny to do that with the kids. Anyways, $1 or more gets you into the Discord. $5 or more gets you proxies each month if you so choose. The higher you move on there, you can get the foil proxies. You move up in that. This is actually one of our Stump prizes. It is Roaming Throne, but all these are in foil as you move up on the tiers of the patron stuff. So that is one way to support the show. The other way you can support the show is by donating on the podcast. So you see that I did it again. The Malorto meter right there. Every donation will bring that meter up. If we hit $100, or once we hit $100, we will take that ranch flavored Malort shot. I'm super nervous
interested
about that.
in adding to this if people become patrons during the show?
I mean, adding, but that
like it's a double dip,
well,
like we have done in the past.
The hard part is somebody could really take advantage of that and just become a patron at the max amount, and then it bumps up to 20, and then before the charge comes in, they take that off, so they never get charged, and we have to take this amazingly gross shot. I don't know.
I totally see whoever was thinking that. You're a scammer. Don't do it. We're not doing it anymore. We don't trust you.
we could go on the we could I think we would trust people, but if you really wanted us to take some nasty
you just
shots,
talked me out of it.
All right, fine. So that is the one way you can support us as well. The other way is to watch our stuff on YouTube. If you get a chance, either if you have a choice to listen to the podcast MP3 or on YouTube, check out YouTube because fractions of pennies add up to pennies. And eventually that turns into dollars and all that stuff, and then we get monies. So that is another way to support the show. We have tons of content that goes on each month. I think last month we had 16 times we were live, and that doesn't count the videos where we weren't live. So you have curated MTG that you've taken a little break because you weren't building a deck, and that's normally where your curated juices start flowing. But you just
this is
built
just
the
the
deck.
second week. I have 3 that'll be lined up, and you'll see them.
That's what I was about to say is
for the next week.
You
and a
just
half.
built a deck last week, and what was your spotlight deck? What were you working on? One of the new commanders.
Tesa.
Right? Nice.
Opulent Oligarch. There we go.
That's a weird name.
Yeah, she's cool. She's like Death Touch, and if at the end of your turn, you can investigate for each opponent who lost life. And so it didn't go exactly the way I intended, especially after I got done, but it was really quick. It was like under an hour and a half, and I had made 60, 70 cuts. I was within 10 cards.
You're
I was like, I could drag this out, but I was like, and I had it sleeved up by the end of the night. By the time I went to bed.
That's crazy. That's one of the faster decks you've built.
Super, super fast. So, but it's changed, but it makes a lot of clues, and then it starts rolling, and it's been kind of fun and interesting. I don't know how much I'll end up liking it, but I want to play it in a game and see how it goes type thing. Gotcha. It's a lot of extort, and a lot of that thing, like where everybody loses life, you gain that much life.
And then you get the tokens at the end.
Yeah, and then you get the clues, and then you're sacrificing the clues to get a spirit. And so you get 3 to 4 spirits a turn, hopefully. And then it just kind of keeps snowballing to where it's like everybody's losing a little bit of life, and then you ding everybody with those flying spirits. And I don't know what it's going to be like, because in my mind it's like 1 1 1 1 1.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I'm not doing the addition as I'm like goldfishing through it, but it feels like everybody's losing like 5 to 7 life per turn. Mid game, you're just kind of going like, oh, that might be adding up, but you just never know in a game either.
Yeah, it'll be nice to get that.
So it'll be interesting to play with it a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. You also had your buy list video, so you got your CK order. Yeah. I wasted my whole buy list on buying the Fallout Commander deck, so I won't have a video. But how many cards did you open up there? Did you have quite a bit, or a stack of them?
200 cards, not different ones, but plenty of Ravnica remastered foils, like the old bordered foils, and then I got a lot of foils for Teysa and just other decks. But the big one, I was very excited and very satisfied, if that makes sense. Like if you think a card looks pretty and you haven't really seen it, you're just like looking at it digitally and you buy it. Sometimes it can be disappointing, right? But I got the Ugin 8-mana one.
Yeah,
that had
looked
like
really good.
The showcase full art foil, and it looks fucking gorgeous.
Oh,
I am
good for you.
Hold on, I got it right here.
Oh, showing it off.
Yeah. This thing it's gorgeous.
Oh, that does look good. That looks really sweet. I like that version the best. When I saw that, when it got released, I wanted that version. How much did that end up costing
on
you?
CK? I want to say it was under 50.
Oh, that's not bad.
It was 40 to 50, somewhere in that range. But it's been sold out. I've been trying to get it for like a year and a half, and it just hasn't really lined up.
So that's your big boy purchase right there.
With that. Yeah, and all of this was credit, and so I'm sending in cards. I'm not spending any of my real money.
Yeah. So yeah, that video is up and running. You can check out all the other stuff that Larry got. 200 cards. That's a lot of cards in there to check out. So make sure you guys liked or check that video out. This week, if I have time, if I get things lined up, I don't know. Were you going to work on anything with your Spotlight stuff? Because I might start getting the attack one, the Mole God started. Nothing. So I don't know.
Curated on Instagram.
So yeah, I don't know when I'll be working on that, but I'm going to try to get that in at some point this week, at least the start of it. So we'll see. Okay. So that is YouTube's, and then you can also follow us on, I guess, X, but really Instagram. Check us out on Instagram. Nothing's happened yet, but we're there. So that's a start. And then
that is a start.
You can send messages there, I guess. I don't even know how Instagram works. Like I said,
I don't know if you can.
Well, supposedly, Ibukaki and Ted are sending messages, and I'm not on it.
Well, that's a good point.
Yeah, so you can probably send messages there. But a good way to message us is just on YouTube. Oh, shit. I do want to do some polls that we had.
Completed polls?
Yes.
Yeah, baby.
Let's see if I can get to that really quick. We'll jump over there. Please don't go to us being live because that's going to be weird. Oh, shit, it might.
Meat buckets.
How do I not do it so it doesn't?
What do you?
If I click on YouTube on our channel, it's gonna pull. Oh, your videos. There we go. I can probably find it that way. Hang on. Give me a second. Hang on. Oh no. Do you have your phone? No, because I gotta show it. All right, give me one. Give me 1 second.
Oh yeah,
It's gonna pop up, and it might be a little echo of our live thing going on right now. Oh, maybe not. Okay, sweet. Let me show this stuff. You can also shoot us an email at commandersmiths@gmail.com. All right, let's look at some of the polls we got going on here. So we had a couple polls go last week. I don't think I mentioned the secret layer one the week before. We kind of did it on the secret layer video. But let's get down to that really quick. So by the way, secret layer update, this one, the beauty of the beast, not in the beast, like Lowry said last week. This is the only one that's sold out at the moment. Let me kind of get this so it's a little framed better here. So that one's sold out, which means those bundles that were all up for sale are no longer there. The foil one sold out first, and then non-foil. But as you can see here, people were most excited for the Just Add Milk. That's still available. Second,
but you were also liars because Beauty of the Beast sold out.
Yes, it did.
Right? And cereals are still there.
Yep.
Right?
Yep, they are still there. I checked earlier.
All right.
I don't know. Something will be. What happened to my camera? Oh, there we go.
Mm-hmm.
That was weird. It went super dark, and now I'm super delayed. Awesome. So yeah, the most. I think 2 people voted for the Prismatic Nightmares.
They were wrong.
Hard-boiled thrillers is a little bit there. But yeah, so overwhelmingly Just Add Milk. Second helpings is what everybody wants to get. But we had another one, a Discord little discussion. It was, what is your favorite flavor of Starburst? Because there's some ice drinks that have the flavor Starburst. And then we got in a little debate, and I was like, felt like the only one that liked pink, and you guys are all wrong because 45% of people voted for pink as the favorite flavor. Yeah. Cherry is 29%. Orange, 16%, 9% lemon. And that's a good sample size. We had 137 votes.
Right. I voted for orange on my other account. So on my personal YouTube. No, that's not cheating. That was in the discussion. I wanted my voice heard. And I didn't want orange at 10%. That would have been real bad if it was right next to lemon. Ugh.
I'll be honest with you. I voted on my personal account, my business account, and the boys' YouTube account. So I voted 3 times for pink. Yeah, I swayed that.
Wow.
No,
Wow.
I didn't really do. I did it early because pink only had like me and one other person voting, and then red was like way up there. I was like, fuck that.
Crushing it.
Yeah. I was like, no, I'm going to get this a little more even. And then after I did, pretty much within a day, pink just kind of took over. So, all right. So that was our voting. What are we doing now? Let's just get to it.
We're doing counter spells.
I don't have any five fair counter spells that start with an F. Five.
It's like you just pressed a button.
Counter cells.
Alliteration.
Okay, so how is this working here? We're not picking the best counter spells that are out there.
Obviously not. We wouldn't, even if we could point them out, you would know them, number one. Number two, we might still be wrong because we don't play a lot of counter spells.
Correct.
So we kind of want to talk about the counter spells that we think are either fair, like we're not going to be mad about getting counterspelled with it,
fair or
we're
fun?
sensitive about it, or that we do personally use. Oh, that'd be weird since we bashed it for 6 years. Obviously. And that's kind of the realm.
That's your twist right there. That's what you're going to put in.
What?
Because I don't use any of these that I have on my list.
Well, my plan was to ask you after every card.
If I use
Use that one?
No. I do not. All right. So why don't you? Do you want to? Yeah, I started the last week one. Yeah. Why don't you start with one of your fave 5 counter spells, which all of them should be.
As I was compiling my list right before the show, as I told you, these are going to be representative of cards that I think I'm okay with, maybe. All right, first one, Corrupted Resolve. There we go.
What the hell?
CORR.
It just went crazy.
That's not even close.
No, there we go.
That one. Yeah, so 1 in a blue instant, counter target spell if its controller is poisoned.
This is shitty. I get
I
it
have
though.
more of a problem with poison, so clearly I'm not playing this.
So so you're making counter spells that you'll never use. That's what you're. Yeah, this one's pretty fair, especially if you're not playing a poison deck.
It's representative. All right.
Of what?
Basically saying if you have counter spells that are like really on theme, I think I'm okay with that.
Okay.
Right? So like if you're in a poison deck that has blue, I probably don't hate this if this is the only counter spell that's going to pop up. That was my thinking.
Okay.
I don't like poison, so yeah. I'll be more upset that you're playing poison.
Yeah.
How about that?
God, we're gonna go from this to like a powerhouse that's about to put out there, and I got
What the
reasons.
fuck are you doing?
I got reasons. So
Okay.
let me.
What are you doing?
Okay, so hear me out. It is a free counter spell.
No,
just listen. It's packed in negation. Listen.
awful. What the fuck are you doing here?
Because it has the big stipulation of the 5 you got to pay. Like that's huge for a big counter spell. You know what I'm saying? Like that's taking a turn off. So the player that casts it, they have to take that turn off. It's and unless it's really late game with the 5 and all that. So my point with this,
What is the name of this segment here?
this is my worst one. I will admit.
No. I want to know what the name of the segment was.
Fair counter spells. This one's fair. It's a 5.
No, this is free. There's no way that this is fair.
It is fair if you don't pay that.
Is it
if you don't pay that
relegated to
5?
like non-creatures or creature spells? No, you can counter any spell.
Right.
Oh, is somebody tapped out and they can still counter your spell?
Right.
That's
But it's 5.
what is this?
Or
what
you
are we
lose
doing
the
here?
game. Or you lose the game. Like, do I play this? Hell no. But it's.
Would I play this at 4
No.
mana? Then yeah.
So
You have 4 mana
this
counter
is
spell?
why
I'm
it's-
done. I gotta
this
go
is
home
my,
anyway.
my 5 spot. Yes, I know it's one of the
Let's
top
not stop this
one of
bullshit.
the counter spells. But my point is, it's 5. It's a 5-drop counter spell. Like that's huge, right? I know it's you're tapped out and it makes it look like they can get away scot free. So actually, it's more butthurt, I guess. But I've always thought of these as like, if you can somehow make them tap their manas or they can't untap, then they lose the game. That's
not how that works.
I know. Well, if they have stasis out there and they can't untap, then they're dead. Lay off
Right,
me, I'm
Jack?
starving.
How is it a fair counter? Hashtag Team Forest Walk. Join this side,
No.
Runshine.
You'll
over here.
Get out of here. All right, so this is my worst one. But I wanted to just say, like, the only reason is because of that 5. Like, I'm like, you have to pay it on your next upkeep. Like, that's taking a turn off. Don't roll your eyes and drink a beer. Get out of here. Take a shot of Malort.
Acting like the Undertaker here, just rolling. Okay, all right. Now that we know that Adam is way off on whatever's going on, I'm gonna pick one that's.
You played a counter spell that is not played in any deck but poison.
Yeah,
But-
that's what's fair about it is you won't see it forever. Since I'm gonna take a level down. It's still really powerful, and I understand. But again, this is representative. Cryptic Command.
I almost put that because the thing is I almost did it because
That's a good point, Renshai.
of the
If
3.
if you win, you don't have to pay the 5.
Yeah,
That's negation.
That's true.
Yeah? All right, Cryptic Command.
But you're on other
I
people's
actually
turn.
do have this in a
Well,
deck.
I guess if you're doing it on yours, yeah, be up. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
So I have this in Hilda.
I have played
but
this
it's-
one, but I don't
it's
think it's in.
modal. You can choose 2. Counter target spell, obviously. Return target permanent to its owner's hand. Tap all creatures your opponents control and draw a card.
I would say this, along with Sublime Epiphany. Like Sublime Epiphany is the only one that I had Cryptic Command, and actually no, it is in my Eureka deck only because I want to tap all the creatures down. And so I like that mode in there. So it's not for the counterspell part, but you can use it for that. But Sublime Epiphany with the modes, I like that too. I almost put this in there too. And then the three
modal
blue
is more of what I was thinking.
Right.
I just use Cryptic because I do actually have it in Hilda for tapping down all creatures, all your opponent's creatures. And so just the fact that it doesn't have to be a counterspell, I think that makes it a lot more fair. They tend to be more expensive.
I will say though, if you're getting your spell countered and they get to do something else, I think that doesn't feel as good.
Right. But it's also fairly costed. It has 3 blue.
3 blue.
Like you can't fit it as easily into a 3, 4, 5 color deck. I think there's more restrictions on it. Like it's relative. And again, what you're using it for. Again, in Hilda, it is to tap down all creatures and to either counter a spell or draw a card. Don't necessarily have to bounce anything in that deck, but it's not necessarily there for counter spells.
Gotcha.
And that's what I think counter spells could be there for. You could talk about, is it charm, which is like counter a spell unless they pay 2, or it can burn 2 or draw 2, discard 2. Like those are good, or Sublime Epiphany, like you had already said. Like those are kind of spells that I personally do kind of use.
Oh, you mean like higher casting costs and stuff that's tough, like the...
No, that's something else. What do you got next?
Pact of
I do
Negation?
want to point out, Joel, Null Brooch is a really good one. I doubt it's on either of our lists, but I totally agree. I do.
Let me pull
like
that one up really quick. Just I want to... I don't
it's
even know.
4 mana artifacts, and then you can like pay 2. Discard your hand to counter target's non-creature spell. So Cousin Jake played this in his wizard deck. Maybe it was an elf deck. I think it was his elf or
I
silver
wouldn't
deck.
think he'd need it in the wizard deck because you're using the wizards to counter.
So basically, it was one of his tribal decks, and he was able to discard his hand and then play another, he had another artifact that would draw him a shit ton of cards, and then he could just still keep playing. And then he just discard whatever he needed to. It's a solid counterspell. I really do like that one. Good call, Joel.
Okay, so I guess my next one isn't going to be as bad as the first one, but it's still a pretty good one. But it's Counterbalance.
I almost put that on mine too.
Because
it's terrible. I fucking hate it.
There's hoops to jump through. Like, I mean, the thing is, yes, if you have a Sensei's top and you can set the top and whatever, but if you don't have the Magical Christmas and that's out or whatever, and you're not trying to be really abusive with it, if it's just in your deck, it's still tough. Like you have to have the right CMC for everything, or matching for whatever's being played. So it's tougher. There's hoops, and that's why I think this one's a little bit more fair.
I didn't want to admit it because I do have this in a deck currently.
Oh, you do?
It's in Takasia, and I can manipulate the top.
God, you're a douche.
It's such a fucking dick card.
Yeah, that is really douchey. If you don't manipulate the top, this is, and I don't have this in Eureka. I don't have this in any deck. Eureka would be the spot that it would go in because I can manipulate the top so easily.
Yeah. Well, were you on the Cockatrice game at the beginning of COVID where like Jawbreaker just like shut the game down? He was hitting like 50% and no manipulation.
Oh, really? No, I wasn't in that.
Yeah,
game,
it was fucking sick. And I was just like, how are you hitting all these? It was crazy. Probably didn't help that I was drinking and probably forgetting what was on top and then just playing into it. But
so yeah, I mean, this one isn't like a straight up counterspell. It depends on what you have on top. Like if you counter the first person's spell, then you know what is on top if they have no manipulation there. So it's like, oh well, now I can cast this and this and that. So I think this one's a little bit more fair. I still think you get butthurt, but it's more. It depends on what they have. Like they have to match what you have.
I'm gonna say that I don't think that this one is fair either way.
Counter spells aren't fair in any way, but
I think with this sticking around, it makes it really tough for me, and having it be free to a degree. Like I understand the whole, but you can blindly just counterspell things,
right?
Sensei's Divining Top is obviously crazy with this card.
Yeah.
It goes really well with a lot of highly played cards. But I see what you're getting at. But
it's not
I
just
think
a straight up counter spell.
Yeah, I think if you're in a very casual meta, this might be okay, even though they'd be pissed to see this too.
I promise my last 3
counters, yeah,
are fine.
All right.
My last 3 are exactly the point of why I wanted to do this segment. Why aren't counter spells fair? They just suck.
Jesus.
Counter spells are the worst. All right, what is your next one?
They're the worst. All right, next one is going to be Rebuff the Wicked.
Rebuff
the Wicked. This one, it's the white one. So this is representative of 2 different things, and Renshai can appreciate this one. Off-color counter spells are kind of fun and tricky a little bit, but also the main reason why I like this one. Okay, counter target spell that targets a permanent you control. It is a counter spell to protect your stuff.
I dig that a lot, yeah.
And blue has some of that stuff too, and that's a little bit of what like the redirection spells in red are doing. They're very similar to, like, don't touch my stuff, but those are putting it somewhere else. Also doesn't say counter. But when you're protecting your own stuff, people can't really get upset about that, because you're just stopping removal basically. And so that I think that's very fair, very playable. And I don't think anybody's going to have a real issue with that.
Yeah. I mean, we've talked about that before, where if we were to play counter spells and say before the game, this is only going to be used to protect my stuff, I'd be way more okay with that. You know, not with other people, with me saying it, being like, I'm only playing these counter spells, but it's only to protect my stuff. I won't counter anything else. I like this card a lot.
Until it comes to a game winner and you're like, counter spell.
No.
Are you going to play Crater Hoof and kill the table? Counter spell.
I'm not a backstabber like you, Lowry. Oh,
I would definitely. No, I admit it fully. I would do that.
All right. So my next one.
Where are you at? Is it going to be Force of Will this time, or what are you?
That's one that you've mentioned before. Narset's Reversal. So you're not actually getting rid of their spell. You're copying it. You get to use their instant or sorcery spell, and they get it back to their hand. So it doesn't get countered. It's just they're just paused for a turn, and if they have enough mana, they could cast it that turn. So this seems fair. You get the bonus from whatever they're doing. It isn't countering creatures or enchantments or artifacts, instants or sorceries, and you get the copy, and it's bounced back. So fair. You know, they can't be pissed. They didn't lose it. They can use it later.
Right. No, I agree. I thought this was almost going to make my list. Another one is Remand, which is counter spell, return that to their hand, and you draw a card. So
that would
not
work too.
As good as Narset's Reversal. But yeah, those like bounce, they're essentially bounce spells, right? For spells.
Yeah.
And there's a couple other. That's why
I don't know.
That's why the
snapping is going to help.
Big, I don't know. Nothing. I'm screwed for Savant tonight, apparently.
Not drinking for weeks and weeks.
There we go. That's one that I can say. Because if you cast a spell, you can bounce a spell. Hullbreaker Horror.
Oh, okay.
So, but there's a couple other. Venser. There we go. Venser has like flash, and when it ETBs, you can bounce any permanent or spell on the stack. So those cards are really good, even though they don't say counterspell.
Yeah,
and they have a little bit more utility to it. So I fully agree. Narset's Reversal. They get back.
There's not as much butt hurt. So all right.
So if they can't Wrath of God this turn, they probably can next turn.
But then everybody can prepare for it, so it actually helps the table out. But you get to do it. That's the thing, is you get to do whatever fun thing they were about to do.
That's true. So not so good.
I mean,
remember when we said we don't really do counter spells, so maybe we're not. So Wrath of Gods probably isn't the best.
Yeah, not copying that. Maybe if it was Cyclonic Rift.
Yeah,
gets the rest of the table pissed at you. And then the next turn you're going to be bounced. All right, so what is your next one?
I'm going to go with Mausoleum Wanderer. MAUS.
MAUS. Wonder if that'll pull.
Yeah, the blue one down there. Yeah. Mausoleum Wanderer, 1 blue, 1/1 spirit flying creature. Whenever another spirit ETBs, it gets 1/1 until end of turn. And then you can sacrifice Mausoleum Wanderer, counter target, instant or sorcery spell, unless that controller pays X where it's its power. So a couple things here.
This is like the fairy one too.
Yep. So, and that was kind of on debating back and forth between that, but no, different reasons. So this one, I like this because number one, and we've said it a couple times where it's very specific to what it's countering versus like counter target spell.
Yep.
Yeah. But the other thing is this is out on the table. Everybody knows that it's there. It's very obvious.
They're going to
and then they're
play
either
spells.
Trying to,
yeah.
Either they're trying to play around it, or you can choose not to do it, or, you know, there's some choices there. And instead of having people worry if you have the counter spell or not, you just go, I got it. Can you play around it?
Mm-hmm.
This one. And then maybe you have instant speed spirits that you can make and bump it up, and then you do, you know what I mean? There are different ways to go about it. 1/1 counters, auras make them bigger, equipment make them bigger, and a spirit deck, obviously. So, like, I think there's more interesting things that you can do with creatures that can counter spells that are on the board.
Yep.
Than holding stuff up in your hand. And this also applies a little bit of pressure as well. Creates more of a board presence than instant stuck in your hand.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
And yeah, like you said, they have to plan around it. Like, I think that's the big thing is, like, even though you probably would encounter it, you want to wait for something that's bigger. Like, but they still got to kind of factor in, oh shit, I need to at least have an extra mana or two open, just in case he decides to sacrifice this to make me pay more.
And what if you have some type of reanimation going on?
Yeah.
Like, in just being able to kind of putz around the whole time.
Mm.
So I find this something a lot more fun.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I would say it's different than the fairy.
Right. Because the fairy is more of like a counter spell in a way.
Yeah. And it's very limited to, you know, either the amount of fairies or one. But, so this is why I like that personally.
Dig it. All right. The next one is another one that I got hit with not too long ago, but it's an offer you can't refuse. It's a 1-drop target, counter target, non-creature spell. Its controller creates 2 treasure tokens. So when it happened to me, I was like, that sucks. I really wanted this to go down. But getting the 2 treasures tokens, I was able to use that to cast something else that turn. So it didn't feel as bad. It's a 1-drop counter spell, but it doesn't counter, creatures you're fine with. Everything else it counters. So I think it's fair because it's giving the person that you're fucking over something so they don't feel as butthurt. So, this is actually these are in order of ones I like. So this is actually my number 2 overall. All right. So what is your last one for counter spells? Unless you wanted to add into an offer you can't refuse.
It was an offer.
Okay.
I'm trying to find a different one. I don't want you stealing my shit.
Do you want me to take the last one that that I have, and then you go to last number 1?
No, I don't want to take that from you. That is yours. That was
no,
the
I know.
whole idea here.
But I was gonna say, should I just do that really quick and then you think about yours?
No.
Okay.
I'll do this one because this is let's go with Spell Swindle.
That was that I like that one a lot. But that one,
it's actually what I expected you to pick.
Oh really? But this one you get such a big bonus, but it is a 5-drop counter spell.
Right. So and that was my problem with it. So it's 5 mana for a counter spell.
Whoa. Your problem with it being a 5 was Pact of Negation. That's a 5.
No, that's a free counter spell with
5.
a 5 mana upkeep payment.
5.
No. How much mana did you leave up for Pact of Negation? 0.
Yeah.
How much do you have to leave up for Spell Swindle? 5. Anytime you want to use it. So it's counter target spell, and then you get to create X treasure tokens, where X is that spell's mana value.
Yeah, but you get all that back with your X treasures. Come on, Meow.
It could be less. Could be a lot less. It's like, that's why Mana Drain is so good, because at 2 mana, it's not a huge investment. Like, leaving 5 mana up feels like you're fucking wasting a turn.
Yeah.
If you don't use it.
Everybody plays a 1-drop spell that
you're like, fuck. No, I guess I'm not gonna do anything. And so that to me tells me that like you're not doing anything on that turn, and then spell swindle's good. And so if somebody spell swindles you for 5 mana, I probably don't feel bad.
Right. And
you know what I mean?
A lot of times it's not even based on the spell, like how good it is. It's more of, is this enough for me to get a bunch of treasures off of? Like they could care less if it was,
that could be the case. I'm not gonna say yay or nay.
They're like, oh, you're playing a crawl worm. They went old school with that shit. No one plays that card.
We've been a podcast for 6 years, not 24.
Well, we've been playing for that long. A crawl worm? Who's playing that? Oh, I got to counter that shit because I get all those treasures.
The scaled worm, motherfuckers, 8.
Force of nature. Well, I guess it's only what is
but
it? 7?
Just going with this is a
6.
much more fair version of mana drain. 5 mana, like overcosted counter spells. I don't think anybody's gonna get upset about.
Yeah.
And it is, if you're in a mono color, that is ramp in a bad ramping color. And treasures there's plenty of stuff, synergies.
Yeah.
That work.
I like this. I've wanted to use it. I spec'd on it a while back, thinking it would go way up, and it didn't really go up.
They reprinted it a handful of times at this point.
But I think this is
where we're at.
This is a good one. All right, so my number one,
the OG,
the reason why
original,
this, the reason
nice
why this
counterspell
is Arcane Denial. Like this one, whenever it happens to me, I'm like, well, it's not so bad because it's the one, one colorless, one blue, counters any spell. So it's better than Counterspell, but its controller may draw up to 2 cards at the beginning of the next upkeep, and you draw a card. So you're replacing this card as well. So this one, whenever I get hit with it, it sucks I don't get to play the card that I want, but drawing 2 cards sometimes is better. Like I'm like, yeah, maybe it was a game winner, or maybe a game winner wouldn't be better, but you know what I'm saying? Like it would have really improved my board state, but drawing 2 cards feels really nice. And then the person that's casting this, it doesn't feel like a waste either that you're giving them 2 cards because you get to draw 1 card off of that and get rid of something that was problematic. I think all around, this is like the only counter spell that I'd put in decks. I don't, but if I were to put any counter spells in a deck, this would be the one. I kind of want more of this kind of thing, or like an offer you can't refuse, where it's giving a benefit to the person that you're countering their stuff. Because just straight up countering, it sucks because it feels like you just lost your turn. It's like,
right.
A lot of times you're trying to be
I get that
efficient with what you're playing, and so you're like, okay, I'm gonna do this, and then when it gets countered, it's like, okay, go. Like this turn sucked. So I like this one a lot. Like I said, it happened to me recently too. I think in the same night that the other one happened, and the drawing the 2 cards feels actually pretty good. So.
And it feels weird to say it, but like I have Cryptic in Hilda, I have Mausoleum Wanderer and Rafine. I like Rebuff the Wicked in like Mardu or Boros decks, where there's like a lack of interaction in that regard of protecting your stuff. And I have Counterbalance.
You have a lot of these in there. You're
right. Am I the bad guy?
Yeah. I only have Cryptic Command, and that's in Eureka, and then I have, which we didn't have on there, but Sublime Epiphany, and that's it. Those are the only ones out of everything we've talked about tonight.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only 2 I have in decks. Everything else, it's like
if
theory.
you have a counterspell that I like the Null Brooch. Again, put that in the comments.
Yeah, I'd like to see some other ones.
We don't look at counterspells a whole ton, so if there's something that your play group really has no issues with, put it there. Let us know, and then maybe we add it to our repertoire. And sorry, I had to cough there. And we can add it to our at least play styles, and you might see it in the the curateds or the deck building, and it's fun to see what other people play with. But more than likely, it's just going to be awful. Until
they print some more fair one.
Yeah.
So
right. That's what we need is more counter spells.
You're right.
That's
more of them. All right, so that is it. Like Larry said, put that in the comments below. That'd be great. Also, if you guys are watching right now, please give this video a like. We are not done yet. We have Stump the Smith Savant that's coming up here in a second. But if you're watching right now, please give it a like. If you're watching later, give it a like. Whenever you're watching this, give that a like. All right, let's move on to Stump the Smith Savant here.
Oh, boy.
As you can see, that Malort-o-meter. I'm having that moving with us with every section there. So, okay. We need to hit the actual button. The nice thing about having that way now is we've had that on occasion where somebody does the Malort shots now, and it's like, I'm already 2 beers deep on 8.5% alcohol. I can't take 3 shots in 10 minutes. I mean, I can.
So if we hit that 100 right now, we're beyond it.
Yes, at this point.
It's too late. You want to watch us drink a drink because that's the whole thing. It's not shots.
Yeah,
we are doing. It is a drink, and it will be awful because it's. I mean, I'm going to be gulping it. I guess. I know that my ranch is going to be curdling.
Yeah. Well, hopefully by next week you change it. Maybe you change it.
Very sure. Yeah, next week I got some time to prep because we came up with this 6 hours ago, and I was like, I gotta get sleeping. I can't. Can't just like we gotta go. I'm apparently more willing to drink curdled ranch and Malort than to wake away like a sleeping baby.
All right, let me hit the button. Here we go. It's time for everyone's favorite game show, Stump the Smith Savant. All right, if you guys don't know how this game works, I'm going to read the flavor text of a card, and Lowry is going to try to guess the card by asking yes or no questions. Every yes, he'll hear this.
Hello, boobies.
Every wrong, he'll hear this.
Wrong.
He will get up to 5 clues. No, wait, is that right? No, he gets up to 5 guesses or 5 wrong guesses before he's considered stumped. He gets up to.
I want 5 clues.
Yeah, he gets up to 3 clues. If he can get everything about the card but can't get what the card name is, he will get the initials. If he still has a bonus clue left over, he will get. Clue left over, you'll get a bonus clue, which should help give it away. It has.
You never prep for.
Yeah, I don't. It's then I wing it because that doesn't happen very often. The card has to be at least 10,000 EDH rec decks. This week's is Tyler Apefink. We've had him do it before. So Tyler is.
Yeah, he's over in the Exiled.
Oh shit! All right, I got
RoboCop put on a 10.
RoboCop
right.
$10. So RoboCop, if you missed what we were saying, once we hit that $100 mark, so your $10 is going to carry over. Once we hit $100, the Ranch Malort shot, and we should give shout outs to people that do that.
Yep, I'm writing it down.
Okay, cool. Once we hit that $100, we are going to take that Malort flavored ranch shot, which is going to be awful. But
it's
no,
not a shot.
sorry,
It's
not
a
a
drink.
shot. It's a drink.
It's
Sorry,
a drink.
Yeah, it's a drink. So we're going to be sipping on
3
it.
shots.
Yeah, it's going to be gross. This is going to be so gross. And then every $25 mark, we take a Bean Boozled. Okay, so 10,000 EDH rec decks. Lowry, your record right now is 27 and... No. It's way more than that.
I was going to say, that makes it sound like I lose a lot for a Savant.
79 and 27 is what it is. You are right now.
If they made like an SCIS show out of me, it'd be a comedy. That'd be...
Wah, wah, wah.
Just losing.
This is up for grabs is the Roaming Throne foil proxy. And you never answered me on the text, but are we going to do the under...
I did.
Oh, maybe I didn't catch that. All right, was it good with what I said? With the okay,
yep,
so the good. Under city sewer. So it's the
blue black surveil land.
Yep, and it's gonna be in foil.
Right.
So that is the second one. Since we at week 4, that is gonna be the second prize here. This already said 8 Fink is it. Okay, chat has been eliminated, so they can play along, see if they can guess it before Lowry. And here we go. Also, RoboCop says congratulations on 6 years. Thanks, buddy.
Thanks, RoboCop.
All right. Hasn't she heard of knocking? Snurred flaming fist guard. Hasn't she heard of knocking? Snurred flaming fist guard. This one's gonna be tough.
Snurred flaming fist. Hasn't she heard of knocking? What? Snurred?
Nerd.
Yeah,
Snurred.
Flaming fist guard. Fist guard. Okay. Hasn't she heard of knocking? If you're a guard, did you just let somebody walk in without knocking, or like being there guarding? This doesn't make any sense to me. Hasn't she heard of knocking? Okay. Hasn't she heard of knocking? They are talking about someone. The snurred fellow or fella, fellish.
Fellish? Is that like elvish?
I don't know. No, well, it's a certain form of elvish.
Jackal is not right.
What is the female form of fellow? Fellish? Probably not.
I was gonna go. Yeah. Fellowette?
Hasn't she heard of knocking? There's a question mark and an exclamation point?
Yep.
Okay. Snurred flaming fist guard. Wow. Flaming fist guard. Flaming makes me feel like it's red fist. Maybe Boros? Could be Boros. That seems like the best bit here. We could be talking about like Feather or Aurelia when it comes to like who they're talking about. Clearly it's not that the character of the card that they're talking about, but it's like peripheral. So we're gonna go, and Boros would mean man. So if I say, is this in Ravnica, does that take out enough? Probably not.
Ted said fillies and fellas.
Filly? That's a horse, right?
Fillies and fellas.
All right. I have a feeling they'd prefer to be called fellish.
It feels like it's elvish. It's like
Right. If I was a female, I'd rather be referred to as an elf than a horse, right? I don't know. That's just me. I'm a horse guy.
You're a horse guy.
I'm a horse guy, apparently. All right. Hasn't okay. Let's go with is this on like the Ravnica plane? Can you answer that for me?
Give me a second. No, we're not going to do that. Nope. You're not getting a yes or no. Yeah, I don't even know. There's too much to look at here.
Snurred? Is this red and or white?
Hello, boobies.
All right, there we go. Let's go for the school, please.
Yeah, it's like your question is not. That's not going to work very well. The art features someone in the middle of the street blasting the castle doors with an electrical discharge. The art features someone in the middle of the street blasting the castle doors with an electrical discharge.
Someone in the middle of the street. What? Electrically discharging at a castle?
The art features, well, basically, yep. In the middle of the street, blasting the castle doors with an electrical discharge.
Okay, somebody is firing something at
Whoa, this is a dark beer. Holy crap.
There's nothing wrong with dark.
Oh, I love the dark.
All the lights out in your house?
Look at that. It's I bought this pack because of the pictures, and it's been actually a really good pack. Back masking oatmeal stout. This one's my favorite.
That might mean something that we don't know what that means.
Yeah, I think we said it, and I don't know what it is.
I don't know what that is either.
What'd you do to us, Ted? I thought you were our friend. Now I want to search. I'm gonna look really quick while you're guessing.
Okay, so this makes me feel like, oh my goodness. Let's go with, is this a permanent spell?
Wrong.
It's 50-50 there. And I'm always wrong on the 50.
It's a young female horse. That was kind of gross. A young female horse, especially one less than 4 years old.
Fillies, right?
Oh, I must have read it really wrong. Did I say it right? I said fillies.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
That's what I was thinking you were saying.
A young female horse, especially one less than 4 years old. Okay. Or another one, a humorous is a lively girl or young woman. That might be.
All right. That's what he was talking about. Okay, so this is
not a permanent.
Not a permanent. So instant sorcery. It still doesn't mean that it's red white. They could be talking about. We're talking about a red blue card then. So it's. It's likely red blue. Likely is it? Let's go with the second clue.
You aren't even making a guess. You're so lost.
I did. I got it wrong. I got.
That's right. You're right.
Permanent.
All right. Here's some big stuff here. Ready? This card is in 171,000 EDH rec decks.
Okay.
Most seen in Imodane, the Pyro Hammer, and I'm doing this a little differently. Has 6 secret layer printings. 6.
What?
It's been printed 6 times in Secret Lair. I'll give you that again. This card is in 171,000 EDH rec decks. Most seen in Imodane, the Pyro Hammer, and has seen 6 Secret Lair printings. Yeah, now you're going through your Secret Layers and you're like, fuck. What is it? I have a feeling chat's gonna 6.
That's wild. I know we were just complaining about it,
but it's in 171,000 EDH rec decks. Yes, you are correct, Renshai. Leave it at that. I know you know what it is. It also has a different printing there too. There's a special one.
I wouldn't even know how that wouldn't make sense. And I don't think that's been printed there that much. Can you repeat that one, please?
This card is in 171,000 EDH rec decks. Most seen in Imodane, the Pyro Hammer, and has seen 6 Secret Lair printings.
I don't know who Imodane, the Pyro Hammer is. Sounds very red. Let's say that. Could be white, could be blue. Have one wrong. We know it's an instant or sorcery. We know. All right. Hasn't she heard of knocking? And so she's shooting some type of electric thing, which sounds like red. Could be. It feels like is it, but. Imodane, the hammer, the Pyro Hammer?
I think RoboCop got it here too.
Oh, shit. 6?
He didn't even realize there was a card that was printed that much in Secret Lair.
6?
Are you going to do 6 again? We're going to do the devil again. 666.
6? All right. 6. Well, it's just 6 years. It works.
Oh, that's
just
funny.
really-
That's funny. And then Ted says, "What a perfect card for a 6th year anniversary." 6. 6? 6?
That's true. That's 6. 6 printings?
Six. How many times are you gonna say 6? Yes.
I don't know. I'm just trying to wrap my head around it. Is it an instant?
Hello, boobies.
I might have got there. I just had to say 6
A lot of
or
times.
more times. Is it lightning bolt?
Hello, boobies.
Oh, it is.
That's what was fucking weird. I was like, this sounds like some goofy shit
yeah,
from,
it's from Baldur's Gate.
well, I didn't know Baldur's Gate, but I was thinking Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah.
I was just like, what the fuck? That's what it sounds like.
That was a good one, Tyler, to throw the little wrench in
Jeez.
there. That was really good. That was pretty good. Yeah. So I was like, how do I say light? I didn't want to say lightning. I didn't want to say bolt. So I was like, because I didn't
Right.
want your brain to get to it. And that's why I also didn't do the text part, because I was like, the text features direct damage to any target, because I didn't.
Right.
It's
Right.
kind of a giveaway. So good job there, buddy. I'm impressed.
Jesus.
I tried to make
That
it
was
it
tough.
I know. Picking the
You could have said it's been reprinted 24 times.
yeah. Well, that's the thing is like I had
That might
first.
have been a giveaway though.
Well, I had first printed in alpha, and I was like, nah, nope, that's too easy. And then
That
I was
would have
gonna,
been, yeah.
and then I was gonna do recently printed in the Clue edition, but then I was like, you don't know when necessarily the lightning bolt was in there, so I was like, oh, secret lair. You know where the secret lair is, right? It got 4 printings of just in one secret lair. Remember, they had the lightning bolt secret lair where it's 4 different
yes.
ones.
Yep,
Then
yep,
you
yep.
got the Street Fighter one, and then I don't remember. This has to be in not one that we were buying, but there is. Let me just show you. This one. And it says it's
I
a
don't
secret.
recall seeing that at all.
I don't either, but it says it's a secret layer drop number 901. So that could be like ones that they do at the shows or the Magic Fest and stuff, where it's a secret layer you buy separately. So it has
Yeah.
6
Okay.
total printings of it. But yeah, so that was good job. All right, so Tyler, if you want, you can send us a signed lightning bolt. Those are pretty cheap, and they will make the walls. Lowry's wall is over there. My wall's over there. Right there.
Oh, yeah. We can do that.
Can't get it.
There we go. Yeah,
Oh, look at
so
that sexy wall.
it's looking a little bare. I want more there. I should have roughly 70.
That's a good point. This was my note, and I need to draw a name. We need some more suggestions. We're down to 15 total people that are in this box. Normally, we've burned through a bunch of them, but we haven't had any new entry. RoboCop just put one in this past or a week and a half ago. At this point, I haven't drawn a name, so that's why I didn't respond to you, RoboCop, until today. But his name is in here. So the prizes now, remember, it is the Roaming Throne proxy, and now we're going to be doing the Undercity Sewer in foil. So those are going to be the prizes from this point moving forward until it gets guessed. Next week, I got one. Here we go. Stumper. Oh, it's a green one, so that means it's an old school one.
Alex?
Demonic
Just
Mango. So it's Quinn
Oh.
is going to be our Stumper for next week. Congrats.
All right.
Good luck on that one.
Bring it.
All right. So our Malort-o-meter, which that will get changed next week, is bumped up to $10. So we will be $90 away from reaching the ranch thing. So whenever we do that, again, we will be taking that. And then it starts over and we will have a different drink, Malort replaced drink, that will be on the docket. So thank you guys all for joining us on our 6-year anniversary. That should do it for tonight. We will catch you guys next week.
Thanks for listening.
See ya.
Bye.
Suck up.
And
thank you, Bill. Thank you, Ted. Thank you, Renshai. Thank you, RoboCop. Thank
Some
you,
bunkers for honkers.
Joel. Thank you,
Boobs. Thanks for
Parks.
the memories. I
Joel. I
love
already said Joel. Cole. And number 2 and Paul. Boom. I think that was everybody.
So glad we didn't have to do the Malort. Thank
Yeah, I know.
God.
I was seriously freaking
God.
nervous for taking that. I'm like, oh my